So today's episode on the HX1 tonner build, we got a few loose ends to finish off. So I'm at a bit of a standstill with this thing. I've ordered a heap of parts and I'm waiting on them to arrive before I can sort of progress any further. So some of the jobs fit the regulator to the firewall and get all that mounted up and all clamped with the fuel hoses. I've got some heat sleeve to put on the hoses as well to protect them from the headers. I've got the rack and pinion to finish off, so the steering, so I need to fit the unis and the bar to the steering column, so I just haven't done that because the steering column hasn't been fitted yet. So yeah, got that to finish off. I've also got to fit the wheelwood brake booster delete kit, so then I can finish off running the brake lines. So originally I had the proportional valve, the original one, and that was mounted here, so I had these brake lines all ran to that, but since I've got the wheelwood version that mounts to the side of the master cylinder, so all the lines will have to be rerouted up to the firewall. So I've got that to do as well. So yeah, since the last video, so in the last one we repaired the right hand side door and got all that hung, have hung the left hand side door, and we've encountered a issue with the seal panel. So yeah, if you have watched the last episode, yeah, what was happening is the seal panel was concaving in the center. So it was flush with the door up this end and flush down that end, but it was concaving in, so the door was sticking out. So yeah, it has to be fixed. So since then I have been playing around, and what I've done is I've cut along the top of the seal panel along here, and then what I've done is used this spoon and kind of brought it out, levered it out, and then using the chisels as well, I've just put a heap of sort of wedges all the way along here, and then just tacked it into place. So that's all tacked in now, and that sits pretty well. So yeah, just by using the straight edge, that sits nice and flat now. So when you close the door, it aligns with the door. So I think that's turned out pretty good. So I've got a fair gap to fill up. So I'm sort of just at a standstill with that. So what I've done is ordered some 3.2 millimeter filler rod. So it's mild steel filler rod for TIG welding. So yeah, that I'm just going to put in there to fill the gap. It's just going to be too big of a gap to fill with weld. So I'll use that filler rod to take up the gap. So waiting on that. So I can't finish that job off. But yeah, overall I think that's turned out pretty good and saved a couple of days of replacing the whole seal panels. So that steering column is bolted in, so I haven't bothered painting it up. I'm going to remove it back out of the car later on and get it painted down the track, but for the time being that's bolted in. I'm still sort of undecided whether to get a billet steering column, like an aftermarket one. You can get one from Billet Works. There's a company in WA, Billet Works, that make them. They look really awesome, but yeah, there's a bit of a lead time for them, and I guess it's extra money, but they do look good. So I'm still sort of undecided whether to get one. But anyway, for the meantime, that's in. So I've kind of got this, the unis and the double D shafts ran roughly. So I guess you want to try and take as much angle out of the unis as possible, otherwise your steering's just going to be really notchy. So unfortunately I don't really have a whole lot of room in here. I'm going to have to sort of come around the extractors here, sort of just like that. So once I get that double D shaft in the uni, that's going to probably come up a little bit more, so hopefully that's going to take out more angle from this uni here. So yeah, this kit hasn't really nothing really fits with this kit, to be honest, but I'm not sure whether it's, this kit's probably more designed for LS1s or Chevs or whatever. I think they're narrower blocks possibly, so there might be a little bit more room in this area. I'm not really too sure, but anyway, I'll make it work. It's just this this hem joint, so that slides over this shaft here, but it bolts to sort of the upper control arm bolts. So in between that nut and this upper control arm, that shaft there. So as you can see, if that's meant to bolt there, it's just going to hit the headers there. There's not a chance in hell that is going to bolt there. And even if you flip that around the other way, that's not going to really bolt there anyway. And then that uni is going to be on a massive angle anyway. So yeah, so what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to modify this this mount. So I'll get them unis and the double D shafts fitted, and then I'll see where it sits, and I'm going to have to modify this up. Okay, so I've got the steering all connected. I've also just bolted up the master cylinder, the Wheelwood kit, and the Pro valve. So this kit mounts the valve to the right hand side of the master cylinder. So yeah, that looks pretty awesome. So with this steering, so I'll get in closer, but as you can see, the unis are on a less than desirable angle there. So I've got really no choice. I've had to come pretty close to the headers just to reduce that angle. So yeah, I think the maximum angle you want is about 35 degrees. So this one's probably the worst angle. And I just used this digital level box to sort of give me a rough idea what the angle is. And I got 32 degrees on this one. So I think it's still within that 35 degrees. Obviously it's not super accurate because I couldn't really get a flat surface, but yeah, I think it's probably right on that limit. So I guess all I can do is just jack this up and work the steering and just see what it feels like. I've had to cut this boss off this bracket here and then tack it sort of to the top of that bracket. So that looks, yeah, pretty dog shit. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I might be able to tidy that up, sort of cut that back square, put some sort of gussets around it because I'll need to strengthen that up. Obviously, you don't want that snapping off while you're driving. So yeah, that needs strengthening at the very least. So yeah, I guess if this doesn't work, then I guess the other options are to get different extractors. Some like block hugger extractors to give more clearance. So then I can kind of bring that shaft in sort of, yeah, so bring it in closer to the block. And then the other option is to get this rack modified. So I might be able to bring the rack over to the right hand side. So that'll bring this shaft over. And then, yeah, which means I'd have to lengthen the left-hand side steering arm and then shorten the right-hand side steering arm, which means I'm gonna have to pull that off, send it off, get it modified. It's just a lot of stuffing around. Even changing the extractors, a lot of stuffing around as well, because the stainless steel exhaust was built from these extractors, and obviously I've got them ceramic coated, and yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm hoping this is gonna work how it is. Yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah, we'll see how it feels once I jack it up. Okay, so after working that steering, it actually turns pretty freely. So I can't feel any notchiness. It feels pretty good really. So I think I might get away with that. Yeah, like I said, it's less than ideal, but for the amount of stuffing around, I think I might just sort of leave that how it is. So obviously I'm gonna pull this bracket out and make this look a little bit better and weld it up so it's stronger. So yeah, I might pull that out, get that done. Okay, so I've just made up this bracket. So I've just gusseted on either side just to give some strength there. Just welded all the way around on both sides as well. So I think that's not too bad. It looks definitely a lot better than what it was, but I think it's still probably gonna look weird, but it's sort of all I could really come up with. So yeah, I'll fit this to the car. I've just sprayed it in primer. I'll paint it black, but I'm just going to fit it to the car and see how it looks. So I've also just gone around with a bit of body filler just around the welds just to kind of make it look a little bit smoother. But anyway, I'll fit this and see how it looks. Okay, so that is everything all mounted up. So I've got the regulator mounted onto the firewall here. So I've just used a couple of nutserts. So drilled a couple of holes into the firewall and nutserted the holes. So yeah, that looks nice and tidy there. Coming around on this side, all the steering's all connected, everything's all done up. Got that weird ass bracket in there. Still don't really know what to think about it, but anyway, once I paint it black, probably won't really notice it too much anyway. So I think that's gonna have to do. So yeah, got the Wilwood master cylinder bolted up. So I need to run the lines from the front and also to the rear up into the proportional valve. But I'm out of Bundy tube, so I'm gonna have to order some more. Might potentially go stainless up in the front end as well. So I might see if you can get stainless Bundy tube. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Just to give an update on some upcoming works for the tonner build. So I've ordered some mudguards from Mr. Mudguard. So yeah, I think they look pretty awesome. They're just, yeah, nice and simple. But there is one problem with this one, or these mudguards, is they're too small. So as you can see, they rub on the center of the tire there on the ends. So yeah, I've just completely stuffed up here. What I was trying to do was order some that would hug the tire, yeah, nicely. But yeah, it's just too small. So I'm gonna have to order the next size up. I think it comes out in another 50 mil either side of the tire. So I think that should be bang on. So yeah, I just thought I'd get these ordered so I can, yeah, start looking at building the tray. I think, yeah, I'm pretty keen to get stuck in this tray shortly. And yeah, it would be good to get this tray built. So then when it comes time to spray the cabin, I can spray the tray at the same time. So yeah, look forward to getting stuck into that tray. Moving on to the front end. So with the power steering, I've ordered a power steering pump. So one of the electric Astra power steering pumps. So that gets rid of the old clunky power steering pump that bolts to the engine. So there is two reasons why I've ordered this. So one is to get rid of, yeah, the clunky power steering pump and just sort of clean that area up. And also another reason was because the belt is pretty long and there's no sort of idler in between there, I think there's going to be a bit of belt slap, just, yeah, running 450 horsepower with a long belt. I think I'm probably going to have issues there. So yeah, two reasons there. And then yeah, I can mount the Astra pump in this area here. So I've seen them mount underneath the inner guard, underneath where you can't see it. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, that's just going to clean up the engine bay even further. So yeah, that's yeah, that'll be another episode fitting the Astra pump. So this bracket here, obviously I'm not going to need this anymore. So if anyone is interested in one of these brackets from Bullet Engineering, yeah, it's a nice billet bracket. So yeah, if anyone is after one, hit me up. And yeah, that one is for sale now. So another couple of jobs. These ones are probably going to be a little bit controversial, but one of them being the bonnet. I've ordered a reverse scoop. So I've ordered a fiberglass 4-inch reverse scoop. So I think, yeah, it's probably going to look pretty tough with the reverse scoop on this tonner. And also I'm going to have clearance issue because I am running the Torque Power high-rise dual plane. So yeah, I think clearance is going to be an issue. So I'll be able to probably run a carby spacer and then run a pretty decent air cleaner as well. And yeah, have plenty of clearance with the 4-inch reverse scoop. So this next job is probably going to be a little bit more controversial. So as you can see, I've got the shaved gutters on the roof. And I think to complement the shaved gutters, I'm going to shave off the door handles and the lock as well and just get that, yeah, nice, smooth, clean look. So I realize that it's probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's going to look awesome. And I guess at the end of the day, it's my car and my build. So yeah, like this car is definitely not original anymore anyway, between the shaved firewall, the shaved gutters and, you know, the 4-link and everything else. It's, yeah, definitely not original anymore anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've got a few ideas on how to do it. I know you can get like the door poppers and the remote sort of solenoids, but I'm gonna stay away from that idea. I just think it's gonna be really impractical and kind of annoying. Having to reach in your pocket and use the remote, or if you don't have the remote and you kind of, it's just gonna be super annoying. So I've got an idea on how to do it and sort of make it practical at the same time as well. So yeah, that'll be another episode coming up in the future too. So yeah, got heaps of work to do still. So I haven't really done myself any favors by doing these extra jobs with the Astra pump and the shaved door handles and stuff like that. But anyway, I think at the end of it, it'll be all worth it and it'll be an awesome cruiser. So if you like the content that I'm creating and want to see more videos in the future, then hit that like and subscribe button below. Also, if you want to help support the channel even further, then head over to the Shenke Garage merch store. So I'll put a link in the show notes below and a card up in this corner. So yeah, click either or and it will take you to the merch store. Also, if you are new to the channel, then I've got a playlist for the HX1 tonner build. So it's the very first episode all the way to the latest. So have a binge on that. I'll put a card up in this corner for that playlist. So yeah, we'll leave it with that and we'll see you next time on Shenke Garage. Cheers.